Was Cersei's prophesied Valonqar? Was the throne room in Dany's vision covered in snow or in ash? What was all that mess between the Stark sisters at Winterfell? In this video I'm bringing you answers to all these questions. This is the second part of answering the most asked questions in the Game of Thrones community. In part 1 I provide you unofficial answers from unofficial scripts itself on some of the most popular questions, such as is Tyrion in love with Dany and will he betray her? And is Cersei really pregnant? The answer to all these questions is yes, so if you missed part 1 make sure to check it out and learn all the hints, clues and even direct statements from the script supporting it. The best part for you is that this is not just my take on all these important questions, but it's all coming from an official Game of Thrones scripts itself, that are on display for the public to see in the Writers Guild of America West Library. Even though these few scripts provided by HBO are all from the previous seasons, it surprisingly does provide us with a ton of huge hints and clues about the end of Game of Thrones, and some would even go that far to say that it actually spoils the last season. The first thing we are going to talk about is Season 7 Episode 7 script that seems to be indicating that Dany might be Cersei's prophesied Valonqar, the one that will put an end to her reign and her life altogether. For Season 7 Episode 7, the script reads at one point, Cersei stares at her enemy, this baby-faced usurper who's come to take what's hers. Is the old Cersei prophecy actually about Dany? At the beginning of Season 5, we are treated with a cold open that featured a flashback in which a young Cersei is given a rather dark prophecy by Maggie the Frog, who basically tells her who she will marry and how many children will she have with that husband, all of which came true. Maggie also tells her that all her children will die, which also came true, but it's not all. Cersei was told that she'll be usurped by a younger woman as the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms. Maggie said you will never wed the prince, you will wed the king. You'll be queen for a time. Then comes another, younger, more beautiful to cast you down and take all you hold dear. Maggie also revealed to Cersei that the king will have 20 children, and Cersei will have 3. Gold will be their crowns, gold their shrouds. Almost all of the prophecy already proved to be quite accurate. Cersei did not wed the prince Rhaegar Targaryen as she wanted. She married the King Robert Baratheon. They both had children, but not together. King Robert fathered 20 and Queen Cersei had 3 with Jaime. And while when this aired, 2 out of 3 Cersei's children were still alive. By the end of Season 6 they all had their golden crowns and shrouds. But who is going to be this younger, more beautiful queen that will cast Cersei down and take all she holds? Cersei, as well as most viewers, thought this was a reference to Queen Margaery Tyrell, who married 2 of Cersei's sons after initially being married to Renly Baratheon. Margaery firstly married Joffrey in order to become the queen, and she did become one, but not for too long, not even for a day. Joffrey was poisoned in a wedding celebration, and Margaery was not in a position to press the issue of being the queen, since it was not a good time, as the capital and royal family was mourning. Upon failing 2 times to become an actual queen, Margaery finally becomes queen of the Seven Kingdoms upon marrying Cersei's other son, Tommen. Cersei, as well as most of the fans, saw Margaery as this prophesied younger and more beautiful queen that will overthrow Cersei. Cersei was the queen of the Seven Kingdoms until her sons came to the throne and wed Margaery Tyrell, so Margaery did in some sense overthrow Cersei from being the queen of the Seven Kingdoms, but she certainly is not the prophesied one, as at the end Cersei is the one who eradicated her and took the throne for herself. Cersei was able to vanquish Margaery, all the Tyrells and a whole lot of other citizens of King's Landing, when she set wildfire to the Great Septo Baelor in the Season 6 finale. However, the script from Cersei's first meeting with Dany in Season 7 makes it seem she may not be out of the woods just yet. In avoiding that last bit of the prophecy, you'll be the queen for a time, then comes another, younger, more beautiful to cast you down and take all you hold dear. For Season 7 Episode 7, the script reads at one point, Cersei stares at her enemy, this baby-faced usurper who's come to take what's hers. Does this mean Dany could also be Cersei's prophesied Valonqar? The script does seem to support Dany being the prophesied younger, more beautiful queen that will overthrow Cersei, but it does not necessarily mean that she will be Cersei's Valonqar. It doesn't necessarily mean that Dany will, beside putting an end to the Mad Queen's reign, also put an end to her life, although it doesn't necessarily mean she will not. Just a few weeks ago, we here on Fire and Blood discussed who could possibly be this prophesied younger sibling that will put an end to Cersei. Valonqar, in case you don't know, is a very important part of Maggie's prophecy in the books. Although almost everything Maggie the Frog told Cersei on the show already came true, there's this one part of the prophecy that the show left out, but decided to eventually foreshadow in Season 7 premiere. It's the prophecy of the Valonqar. In A Song of Ice and Fire, a series of epic fantasy novels on which the Game of Thrones series is based, Maggie's prophecy, beside including everything in the show feature, also includes the line, and when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar shall wrap his hands about your pale white throat and choke the life from you. The word Valonqar in High Valyrian means little brother. Cersei took this to mean Tyrion, which is part of why she hates him so much. The identity of Cersei's prophesied Valonqar has been heavily debated among the fans, and numerous suggestions have been made thus far, with Tyrion and Jaime being the most suitable choices as they are Cersei's younger brothers. But the Valonqar prophecy is most likely not that simple. If you read the prophecy without making the same mistakes Cersei does, there's plenty of people who fit what it actually says, not only Tyrion and Jaime. George R. R. Martin's characters are always misinterpreting prophecies. In particular, Cersei and most readers take the Valonqar section out of context and think it could be one of her siblings, either Jaime or Tyrion. Let's take a quick look at the Valonqar prophecy once again. And when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar shall wrap his hands about your pale white throat and choke the life from you. Note how it says the Valonqar, meaning the younger brother, not your younger brother or a younger brother, but the title brother already established by the context. Cersei immediately assumes it's centered around her. Even at this young age, she already hates her younger brother Tyrion and leaps at the chance to hate him more. Having come to this conclusion, she treats the Valonqar as some kind of dread title for her monster of her younger brother. Not only could the younger brother, the Valonqar, be any male in the story who has an older sibling, but it can also be any female in the story who has an older sibling as well. How? The word Valonqar comes from High Valyrian, a language that is not into gender specificities, as we learned in Season 7. So this younger brother could very well be a younger sister. The prophecy of the prince that was promised also comes from High Valyrian, and as we learned, it's gender neutral, meaning that, as Miss Sandy said it, the proper translation of that prophecy would be the prince or princess that was promised will bring you dawn. Therefore, an actual translation of the Valonqar prophecy might also be gender neutral, with a possibility of both younger brother and younger sister possibly being the Valonqar. Cersei think it's Tyrion. The fandom think it's Jaime Lannister, Cersei's twin brother that is technically her younger brother as he was born a few minutes after her. As I already said in my previous video, supporting evidence to this theory could also be both Jaime and Cersei's statements that just like they were born, they will die together as well. They believe their deaths are linked. They both claim that because they came into the world together, they will leave it together as well. Examples include Jaime's statement that he cannot die while Cersei lives. We will die together as we were born together, Jaime finished. Cersei says if he were dead, I would know it. We came into this world together, uncle. He would not go without me. Perhaps Jaime truly is the prophesied Valonqar, which might have even been foreshadowed in the Season 7 premiere. Above Cersei's head, the words the neck. Just above Jaime, the fingers. Will Jaime wrap his fingers around Cersei's neck? Perhaps. Maggie the Frog prophesied to Cersei that the Valonqar younger brother will kill her, but she did not say your Valonqar, your brother will kill you. And if the word Valonqar is gender neutral, then it means that the Valonqar could possibly be anyone in the story who's got an older sibling. It could be anyone from Arya Stark who has Cersei on her list to Dany who is also someone's little sibling, and who will probably want to put an end to Cersei after the betrayal she has done in the Season 7 finale. Dany is also seemingly the younger and more beautiful queen that will cast Cersei down, so why not the Valonqar too, although I personally don't see it happening. Not that Dany won't cast Cersei down and overthrow her, as a matter of fact she most likely will be that queen as the official script supports it, but I don't see Dany being the one to put an end to Cersei's life. It's gotta be either Jaime or Arya, but that's just me. It could also be Euron, it could also be Sansa, it could be Jon Snow, it could be many characters. What we can say for sure is that in the official script, Cersei sees Dany as the prophesied queen that will cast her down and take all she holds. Okay, enough with the potential spoilers. Let's get back to the scripts and the answer it has for some of the most asked questions. The Stark sister question. What was all that mess at Winterfell? What did Sansa know and when did she know it? Both Sansa haters and lovers alike had some difficulty puzzling out the Stark sister dynamics in Season 7. Arya and Sansa were at each other's throats. The older sister was inexcusably rude to her vassal Brienne, and things were generally a mess at Winterfell, until they were not. Did Sansa know all along that Littlefinger was trying to manipulate her into fighting with her sister, or was she for a time once again manipulated by Littlefinger? The script reveals it is the latter. It all begins with Sansa getting worried while watching her sister and Brienne spar in the courtyard, fearing Brienne might be an ally for her sister, should Arya turn on her. Sansa is not happy about it, the script reads. In addition, this disturbs Sansa. The woman she thought was her dedicated protector is actually a timeshare. That's why Sansa sends Brienne away from Winterfell a bit later. The tension between Arya and Sansa is also very real, until it's not. When Arya accuses Sansa of trying to placate the Northern Lords to ensure they're on her side, the script explains Arya is right. She knows it, we know it, Sansa knows it. Later, Sansa gets genuinely enraged by Arya's constant accusations. The script states now she grows angry, and when Sansa gets angry, steeliness enters her tone. So when exactly did Sansa catch on? She may have had some private suspicions all along, but Baelish does not make his big mistake until the season finale, when he tells Sansa that Arya wants to be the Lady of Winterfell. Sansa knows very well Arya never wanted such thing. The script outlines Sansa's moment of dawning realization. Littlefinger spreads his hands. Well, there it is, Sansa nods, there it is. And that little moment marked the beginning of the end of Littlefinger's climb. At that moment, Sansa turned tables on Littlefinger, and together with Brienne and Arya figured out everything he's done against her family, and arranged his death sentence. Let's answer one more question fans have about some major events of Game of Thrones. Was it snow as some fans think, or was it ash as others claim it was in the throne room in Dany's vision? There's been a lot of debate over the years about when Dany had a vision of a destroyed King's Landing throne room in the House of the Undying in Season 2, whether she was seeing ash fall from the sky or snow. In other words, will winter come for King's Landing, or will someone's dragon? This is a vision that exists in the show, but not in the books, so George R. Martin's text is no help. But the script clears it right up. She looks up, the roof is missing and snow falls from the sky. At the far end of the room, the Iron Throne waits for her, dusted with snow. So Dany does see snow on the throne, whatever it's supposed to foreshadow. The Night King arriving at King's Landing, or even Jon Snow ending up on the Iron Throne. Whatever it's supposed to foreshadow, one thing is certain. It was not ash covering the throne room, she sees snow and snow only. We will end this video with breaking news about Season 8. Well, not breaking, but rather heartbreaking. According to some Game of Thrones actors, we'll all need therapy after it's over. Meaning that some main and our favorite characters will not survive the Game of Thrones, and some of their stories will end just as heartbreaking or even more than the Red Wedding. Game of Thrones star Gwendolyn Christie, Brienne of Tarth discussed the show's upcoming final season with E-News, saying that fans may want to ensure their mental health care coverage is up to date. "You're going to need therapy," Christie said. "I think just the show ending is going to send all of the world into professional help." And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.